I want to talk to you about the soul of one of the men that changed the world, the spiritual world as we know it. His name, and every time you say his name, you can open up any blockage that you have. And his name is the Rabbi Israel the Baal Shem Tov. The nickname Baal Shem Tov, the one with the good name. But his name is Israel, Rabbi Israel. Rabbi Israel Baal Shem Tov basically lost his parents when he was very young, and his first job, spiritual job, was to teach kids the Hebrew alphabet. You know, sometimes when you think of yourself as nobody, God find you. I don't know how many of you ever came to a position where you start to realize that maybe there is no hope. There is no hope for your marriage. There is no hope for your business. There is no hope for a lot of things. So sometimes when you get to this point, it can go either worse or better. It depends if you get angry or you accept that there is a divine that's running this world, and through that you can actually rise and go into the next level. The question is, where are you right now in your life? You know, are you accepting what's going on right now? You know, we're going through the COVID, the business, the problem, people losing job. Are you kind of accepting that this is the best that can happen to all of us? Or you are angry about it? You know, that's a question. So if we talk about the Baal Shem Tov, known to be later on the leader of teaching spirituality to the farmer, to the simple people. Just there's so many stories. I will tell you a few short ones. I don't know how many of you spent Shabbat with me, Friday night dinner. You know, it's very important who you go to dinner on Friday night to enjoy the energy of Friday night. We know that Friday night is when the divine God stopped creating the world. No more creation. So when there is no more creation, everything's shut down. The energy, the time is like circle. So whatever happened in the original Friday will happen for the rest of the time of this universe. So every Friday night, something stop. The physicality stop. Spirituality is awake. So there is dinner. There is two things you do on Friday night. You pray, meditate, and you eat. You pray for the soul and you eat for the body. So the body and the soul get benefit. So the Baal Shem Tov, you know, to eat dinner, try to imagine. You eat dinner with a person who doesn't think himself as great, but as time go by, he becomes the greatest righteous person in Eastern Europe. And the miracle he performed was tremendous. So as he grew up, of course, he has many followers. And all those followers want to sit next to him, want to be next to him. In the beginning, those of you who follow a teacher or follow a guru, sometimes you follow your teacher for the wrong reason. You follow for ego. You follow because everybody else follow. You follow because you want people to see you follow. So it gives you a kind of self-worth. And he was surrounded by so many of his students that all of them were righteous. One Friday night, the Baal Shem Tov, as he always does, whoever spend time with him, he loved to help the simple people. So he invited the farmer to eat on his table for Friday night. No, it wasn't a custom for a great rabbi, for a great Kabbalist, for a great spiritual leader to just invite anybody. It's almost like the greatest person in the world will text you. But there is people like that. There is still in our time, as I told you in one of the lectures, you know, Rabbi Karlibach, you know, one of the greatest souls came to this world. He apologized to me for something he didn't even do. And he is one of the greatest tzaddikim, righteous, tzaddik means righteous. So the Baal Shem Tov invite those farmers, and of course, all the other Hasidim, the other follower, look at the Baal Shem Tov and say, excuse me, what are they doing here? Look at them. They're not even spiritual. They're just eating. They're just chewing and eating. The Baal Shem Tov looked at his follower and said, whatever you can do with your brain, they can do with the heart. You need to know, he told them. Rabbi Isaac Luria, who was here before me, 200 years before the Baal Shem Tov, he fixed people's mind. We need to know there is something called Koma. Koma means levels. So try to imagine that there is a human being. The structure of correcting this world look like a human being, head to toes. Try to imagine that before Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, before the Zohar, after the temple, the whole human being sink into the mud. Mud represents negativity. And slowly, slowly, we're taking that human being out of the mud. Meaning us, meaning our soul, meaning the universe. We're getting the universe out of the mud. What Rabbi Isaac Luria was capable of doing is to get the head out of the mud, said the Baal Shem Tov. And that's why if you read all the books of Rabbi Isaac Luria, it's very much about the brain. You gotta be smart. You gotta have a great memory. The Baal Shem Tov, he was working on a different area. The heart. The heart. And he looked at the student and say, student, you are great, but the farmer brings something so different and so needed right now, which is your heart. And they look at him, they have no idea what he's talking about, because they're all eating with their hand and the bread, and they're all busy with the food. They don't even look spiritual because they're not, they're farmer. They just work the land. At that point, that the leader, Baal Shem Tov, saw that the student don't totally accept the new guest. He said, I want you to be quiet for 2 minutes. And they were listening to their master. They were quiet. Once the farmer finished eating, he asked the farmer if it's okay to sing with them. And he asked his follower, his student, not to sing. They didn't know the words of the song. They hardly knew the melody. But they put the heart on the table. And they let go. And they let their spirit talk. And when the spirit talk, let me tell you, the room was full with angels. The room was full with light. It was very unique light, it's like milk. I don't know if you ever experienced a chance, opportunity to be in a place where you actually see the light. The spiritual light looks like the physical light. It's very difficult to be in a place like this. When you raise yourself so high, such a high level that the body and the soul become one. And the Baal Shem Tov teach his student by bringing the farmer, what does that mean to feel? What does that mean to be connected? For that reason, every time when you want to open your heart and it's kind of closed, maybe you're in the middle of a fight with your wife, with your husband, open your heart. Your husband not hate you, neither your wife hate you, neither your kids, neither your neighbor. They just don't know how to love you. The whole reason people are fighting, why they're fighting, why they even care. They want to love you, but they don't find a way to reach out to your heart. Your heart is closed. Their heart is covered because of so much pain that they went through. But when you're a farmer, you got nothing to lose. You deal with the corn, you deal with the wheat, with the barley, and that's it. That's your life. You bring the cow back, the sheep, and you're all dirty. You're so tired, you're so exhausted, you don't even think. I don't know how many of you work as a farmer. I did in a kibbutz. You're really tired after this. You don't have time to have an argument. All what you're thinking, your spiritual connection is, God help, please, there'll be no rain today. I remember when I was a kid, I'm sure those of you are from the old days, we didn't have diapers as a kids. So we had this thing that looked like diapers, but it was you use it again. Meaning you wash it and use it again. And I'm sorry to discuss you with this story. So when the mother use the laundry, you know, she make the laundry from the diapers that have been used, she had to wash it and dry it. We didn't have a dryer, we didn't have a washing machine. So my mom washed it by hand. Then she hang it outside on the balcony. But sometimes there is winter and there is rain. And she would pray that there will be no rain. So I'm getting emotional, that's wrong. Oh, it is gonna go away soon. Come on. I promise not to get emotional here. So she was praying for the Creator, for God, to please stop the rain. So she can have diaper for the kids, for us. And as a kid, I used to make fun of that. Be honest with you, I didn't, and that's why I'm a little bit ashamed. A woman praying to God, I mean, about diapers, sounds ridiculous. It's not real. Until I start follow a spiritual path, and I met a wonderful gentleman from Jerusalem named Shaul, and he showed me a story about a woman that tell what happened to her. She had 12 kids, same situation like us, and she used to use the word Rabbi Shimon. She said, Rabbi Shimon, please stop the rain. Until it was on the news, she had a dream that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, came to her in a dream. He said, listen, I listened to you pray. I will make sure that your diapers will be dry, but please use me for something bigger than that. When I read this story, I was embarrassed. Because sometimes, I don't know how many of you ever judge someone and then you realize you were wrong. I don't know if you ever went through something like this. But when it's your own mother, it's a problem. So the Baal Shem Tov brought simplicity to the heart. We need to awake this simplicity in the world right now as the world bleeding. We lost simplicity. We become complicated, we become smart, we become rich, we become fancy, we become careful, we become aware of what can go wrong, we become what to say and what not to say, but we're not simple anymore, we're not flowing. The Baal Shem Tov opened that heart to the people, and I'm worried that the human beings start seeking again. And that's why we see more wisdom today than a heart. We need to pull this human being out of the mud and let ourselves feel. That's what I want to start with. And I'm going to continue talk about the Baal Shem Tov. Just to remember, Baal Shem Tov was a descendant, like his soul is a reincarnation of King David. And King David, there was a similar life. I don't know if you know, he was chose to be a king. But he never became a king. After 7 years only he became a king. God announced him to be a king. But King Saul didn't allow that to happen because he was the king at that time. So he had to go to a tremendous amount of pain, humiliation, excommunicate. You know, similar story to the Baal Shem Tov. And while he's going from place to place, he just prays God, praise the Lord. And he keeps saying, Shir HaMa'alot. This is one of the greatest things he wrote. Esai Einai El Ha'arim. I will raise my eyes to the mountain. Me'ayin yavo ezri. Where is the help going to come from? Say King David. Ezri mi Hashem oseh shamayim va'aretz. My help will definitely come from above, from the divine. But we need to understand the depth of this verse. Be'ayin yavo Ezri. When a person say, I'm raising my eyes to look at the mountain. What is a mountain? Mountain mean, as Rabbi Moshe Cordovero this week said, mountain mean that you look at everybody is greater than you, and you don't get upset or humiliated or angry. That's what the Ramak said, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero. You look at people and say, wow, wow, I'm so surrounded by such a great people. That's King David. So you look at everything as greater than him. Then, what the next verse say? Me'ayin yavo Ezri. Where is my help going to come? From me'ayin. You know what mean me'ayin? From nothing. If you want your life to go smooth, and me'ayin yavo Ezrecha, that your help will come from nothing, you have to look at everybody as greater than you, and not to be upset, to be excited that you're surrounded by great people. Think about it. If you, God forbid, in a hospital, you want to be surrounded by the best doctor or by okay doctor? The best, right? So why, when we surrounded, while we're healthy, by the best neighbors, best family, best thing, we find what's wrong with them, then we fight? Because we're missing the heart. The heart is not there, my friend. The brain always going to judge. Let's bring the heart out. And there is a song that I wrote. I was keeping it to myself. I didn't write the words, of course, that's King David words. It's just a melody. And I'm singing it to myself. So I decided to come out of the table and maybe sing it to you. You may like it. I hope you're going to like it. It's called Shir LaMa'alot, the song of King David. And I just wrote the melody. So, it's very simple to play it. It's A minor, G, D, A minor, those of you who want to play. And after this, you do C, G, D, E minor. Okay? So, let me see how we're going to do. למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, עזרי מעם השם עושה שמיים בארץ, עזרי מעם השם עושה שמיים בארץ. שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, עזרי, כן, מעם השם, כן, 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 מעם השם, רק מעם השם, עושה, כן, כן, עושה, כן, כן, עושה שמיים בארץ. שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, עזרי מעם השם, מעם השם, עושה שמיים וארץ, שיר נא לעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, שיר נא מעלות. I just want to share it with you. I think this is the first time that I'm sharing some of my song. But let's continue with the story. So, more about the Baal Shem Tov. So, Baal Shem Tov, as he discovered the Creator in such a high level, and as the Creator make sure everybody discover the Baal Shem Tov, he used to go to the forest. You ever been in the forest alone? Scary a little bit. Yeah. Bears, deers, snow, rain, no home. He used to take food with him from Saturday night till Friday. And it used to be a place that his students say, one of his students, the Magid me message, when he go to that tree, specific tree in the forest, he pray. When he prayed, he saw the future of everything that will happen. When he saw our time, his student who used to be with him one time, the Magid me message, saw him in the middle of his prayer. He started hitting his head to the tree. So he had to hold him because, you know, when you get to that spiritual level, you get in almost like into a trance. You're out of the body. And they saving him from not bleeding. And when he woke up from that meditation, asked him, teacher, what happened? So I saw our time. I saw 2020. I saw this time. I said, what did you see? We think it was all the COVID. We think it was all the money. No. You know what he said? He said, I see spiritual leaders, a lot of spiritual leaders, a lot of them, and they're fighting with each other. They don't want to become one. Everybody want to become alone, and everybody want to become a teacher. But no teacher want to join. Like, how can we have all the teachers in one room with respect? You don't have to agree. And when I heard this story first time, I was so nervous that I will fall into that category of not joining other people. So, those of you who know me, I'm the traveler teacher. I'm going from one place of spirituality to another. People know me all over the neighborhood. And one of the reasons that I'm doing it is I'm here to join you, whatever you do, and you can join me, whatever I do. And that's why I let people to teach on my side, because I want more people to join. I want more people to feel together. Because I believe, and I'm not doing it for them, I'm doing it actually for me. What does that mean for me? Because I want my heart to be open. I want my heart to be able to connect to your heart. That's really what it's all about. And if I'm not capable to connect to your heart and you cannot connect to my heart, what have we done? What have we done? We lost it. So this message is for spiritual people to tell you, we need to join, we need to find a way. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I try, and I'm not trying to sound the victim. I mean, I think every person that I know, I pick up the phone and I call, text, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it takes. And it's very difficult. Sometimes it's become about money, sometimes about power, sometimes about politics. And I hope I'm not making you hating your spiritual teacher. That's not my purpose. And if I do, I'm sorry for that. And I'm apologize that I say these words. What I'm trying to say by that is that I want to meet your spiritual teacher. I want to do something together with the spiritual teacher. That we all be equal, we all be together. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how, so please help me to connect to a different spiritual teacher. And of course, if we can get along somehow, we can do great things together, wonderful things together. We can open the heart to one another. That's what I'm saying. So going back to the story with the tree, where is that tree in Ukraine? Where is exactly that forest? It's funny, nobody knows where the forest is. Nobody knows where the tree. The last student knew where the tree is gone, he died. His student knew where the forest was, is gone too. His student of the student of the student of the student knew the area. And the student who died 100 years ago knew the country, it's Ukraine. So what is the message about that? When you want to pray and you want the gates to be open, you're going to find that tree. But where is that tree? It's everywhere. It's everywhere, my friend. It's a tree in your backyard. It's a tree on Park Avenue if you live in New York. It's a tree in Brooklyn. It's a tree in London. Any tree. All three are connecting to the roots together. It's all one. But it doesn't mean you pray to the tree. It was a location that you want to connect to the Baal Shem Tov. You have to say, today, I want to open my heart and connect to Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov was not about perfection, like most spiritual teachers. The Baal Shem Tov was more about, did you open your heart today? Did you open your heart today to somebody? Did you forgive somebody? Did you forgive somebody? And if you don't do it, today I was walking down to Pico with a nice cappuccino in my hand. I didn't do it for 5 months. And I was so happy to hold the cappuccino, and my mask was in my pocket, and I was so happy about the cappuccino. Then I see a person I didn't see him for a long time, somebody who bothered me a long time ago, but we work it out. But there is work it out on a high level and work it out on a low level. Working out on a low level, we politely work it out. But we didn't really work it out. So, but the funny part, that 2 days ago, I sent him a WhatsApp message with something funny to start a friendship again. But he didn't answer back, and it was bothering me, it hurt me. My heart was closed. So today, I'm walking, this guy, like why, from all people, God put it in there. So, okay, Eliyahu, you can get angry. I didn't answer your WhatsApp. You can forgive, or you can move on with that and just be super friendly now. And I was able to overcome it and be super friendly. I even told him some jokes from far away, across the street. And I was a little bit proud of myself that I was able to open my heart, even things were a little bit bothering me. The question is, do you want to pray like the Baal Shem Tov? Do you? Do you want to pray like the Baal Shem Tov? Do you want to pray like David HaMelech, like King David? Do you? That's a question. When you fight with your wife, with your kids, when you fight with your husband, when you fight with your friend, with your brother and sister, it's really not that important. It's not who's right, who's wrong. Please remember how many times my wife and me will have argument about what's better for people, what's worse for people. We always have argument. What would be better for our student? That's our argument. And sometimes the argument become not so nice. But in the end of the day, sometimes when we have argument, I tell her, I forgot what was it about. Can you remind me so we can start again? And we start laughing in the middle. And you gotta open your heart. Your people around you love you. I want you to look at your kids' eyes, your wife's eyes, your husband, your friend, and look at their eyes, to the pupil, to the color of the eyes, and tell them you love them, and then feel how much they love you back. Many years ago, when my son Michael was born, not many years ago, 19 years ago, I wrote a song, a part of a song, and there is a band that used that song, and I didn't know they used it. It was in Australia. I don't want to say the name, because then you'll say that they give you credit and all this and that. So, I didn't play it for a while, so it's 19 years ago. And it's Shema Israel, the famous prayer, Shema Israel. But it's also, there is a section there that I add, it's called Shir Chadash. Shir Chadash is, Shir Chadash, a new song. And new song is basically the song that the cow sang as the Israelite left Egypt. What does that mean, new song? You have to find in you a new singing. You gotta find within you a new power every day. Every day, every day. Yesterday, Debbie and me were working in the last 3 months on creating candle for you guys. Candle that based on certain spells, certain color. It's heal the chakra, heal your problem. So this is new. That's gonna come new to you. Every time to come up with something new, you gotta recreate yourself. And if you don't recreate yourself, you're losing your heart. The heart is pumping. The heart never stops pumping. But every pump, it's a new blood. Please, don't stop pumping the world, because the world needs you. You're part of the world. So, let me sing it to you. Shema Israel, Shem Elokeinu, Shem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. If you know the words, it's very simple, okay? So just sing it with me. That's the greatest prayer ever was written. Shema Israel, Shem Elokeinu, Hashem, Hashem Echad. Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash, oh Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash, oh Shir Chadash, oh Shir Chadash. Hey na na na, na 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 na. Na na na, oh na na na, na na na, na 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 na, na na na, oh na na na. Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash. Shir Chadash, Shir Chadash. Hope people like it. Let us know if you like it or if you want more. I don't have the computer in front of me, but Debbie has it, so she will let me know what you think of that, so we give you more of that. You like it? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, from the tree of the Baal Shem Tov, I want to take you to his pray, the essence of pray. And praying. You know, I didn't like pray until not too long ago, because I grew up in school. My mother put me kind of yeshiva, half yeshiva, whatever you want to call it, and you're forced to pray. You get beat up if you don't. So what happened to you? You look at prayer as a must. You don't look at prayer as a joy. Nobody teach you the connection from your heart to the Creator. And only lately, I mean, thank God for the gift that the Creator have mercy on me. And it opened up to me that when you pray, it's your personal meeting with God. You have personal meeting with the Creator. When you go to meet, when you were young, to meet the principal, you're nervous, but also excited, but you don't know if you should be excited. When you're going to meet important people, you're excited. Why is it that when it's come to God, there's kind of a religious connotation to that turn people off and make people become like machine the way they pray? When the Baal Shem Tov prayed, he knew that he can change things. Do you believe that you can change things? Do you believe that you can change your journey, your health, your relationship? Do you believe that you can change everything in your life? One of the stories about the Baal Shem Tov, he was praying, and he was praying, the students saw that he prayed for too long, they left the room. When he finished his prayer, there is a section in the prayer called Amidah, where you're standing and you don't look aside, you only look between you and the divine. Just you and the divine. You know, now in the last 4 months, thank God, we're doing pray outside here, my house, so it's in the street. For me, it's fascinating because I can see the sky. It gives you like perspective about how small you are, and at the same time, you can connect to the divine, you connect to the Creator. So, in the moment, Amidah is a section in the prayer, you should take about 10 minutes when you have a moment with you and the divine alone. But some of those righteous people pray long because they're really in the chamber with God. It's not like you and me when we're going in. For 1 minute we have a right connection, but the rest of it is kind of thinking about business, thinking about that. I need to wash my car, I need to eat something. All kind of negative thought that coming into the mind, or just thought. Baal Shem Tov was absolute concentration from the heart, not from the brain, absolute concentration from the heart, and connect to the divine. And as he connected to the divine, you know, everybody left the room. So when they came into the room, they saw him sitting on the chair, and he cried. They say, "Teacher, what happened?" So, well, you left me. I say, "Yes, but you were praying." So you need to understand. Try to imagine a person that needs to reach as high as he can in a mountain, because on top of this mountain, there is a bird, and that bird is in the nest. And that bird in the nest, when it's chirping, it can cure any disease. I was climbing to that mountain in my prayer to bring the birds down to here. And then I fell. The students don't understand. They ask him, "What do you mean you fell?" He told them, "I cannot do it without you guys. Each one of you is another pillar to stand on. So try to imagine the 10 of you standing on top of each other spiritually. And I'm the 10th one, I'm the one on the top to get the birds. Once you left the room, I fell. The students start crying. The beautiful story is about understanding the value of a student to a teacher. Sometimes students don't understand that without them, the teacher cannot do anything. The foundation of each teacher is the student. They're raising him up so he can do different things for everybody. But when the student don't raise the teacher up, then the teacher cannot go up. Even he has wisdom, knowledge, secret weapon, mystical knowledge of Kabbalah, everything. And he can get that bird, but he can't do it without everybody. So we need to understand it, please. And I don't need to tell you as a teacher or as a student. As a teacher, I tell you, without my student, there's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that I can accomplish without my student. So my student is the one who raised me up, and I can bring different gifts to them. And hopefully I will give them more gift. My dream that my student and other will become my student, will do the best ever, health-wise, money-wise, relationship, you know, this is my dream. When I hear about somebody's going through a tough time, I'm checking, did I brought the birds from above or not? You know, did I do that job? And I'm telling you, you have no idea how much value you actually have, how much value you have. I wanna play a song that I like because it's we know it's the 3 weeks, and the 3 weeks we're talking about the temple being destroyed. It's a song of Carly Bach, so forgive my voice, I cannot do it like Carly Bach. תשכח ימיני, אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני, אם אשכחך ירושלים, תשכח ימיני. תשכח ימיני, אם אשכחך ירושלים. אוי תשכח ימיני, אם לא אעלה לירושלים, על ראש שמחתי. ירושלים, על ראש שמחתי. היי נאי 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 היי נאי 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 Last story, everybody. I heard it only today. It's about a different Kabbalist, a different rabbi named Rabbi Israel Vlidinker. I cannot even say the name. So he was a great Kabbalist, a great teacher. Live in that one of those villages. There's not a lot of people. So when you don't have a lot of people, sometimes there is a lot of problem. And he heard in his neighborhood, and every teacher, when you heard that, you start crying. There is a woman who left her husband. The husband come to the teacher and said, she left me. And in those days, 150 years ago, 200 years ago, women wouldn't just walk out and leave. Or men just walk out and leave. It was more respect. The heart was open. It was more respect. And he heard about it, but he didn't know what to do. So he saw the gentleman come to pray. And in the end of the prayer, the gentleman stay and start reading different books. The book of Psalm, the book of the Zohar, and crying. And I said to him, what happened? He said, I don't know, she left me. She said, I'm not a good husband. She left me. He said, okay, do you love her? He said, I love her, unconditional. He said, okay, I want to talk to her. The teacher, that's what the teacher walked himself to their house. Didn't find her there. Went back to him, said, where is your wife? Said, maybe she went to her mom. He go to her mom. And everybody know the teacher is the most famous teacher in town, in that village. So when he knocked on the door, and their mother opened the door, said, oh my God, you are at my house. And if right away they prefer cookies and tea, say, no, no, please, I want to talk to your daughter. I said, what happened? He said, Rabbi, I'm sorry, but I have to leave him. He said, did he do something wrong to you? He said, I can't talk about it, I'm sorry. He looked at her eyes and opened her heart by saying, do you know that he loves you? Unconditional. She said, I know. I said, so why you left him? What happened? And she said, Rabbi, I never told you this, and my husband and me are a little bit embarrassed. We don't have kids. I cannot bear a child. I can give him children, and I'm embarrassed to be a wife like this. I mean, my essence is to create a new generation, that we can teach them to be spiritual, that we can teach them to be better. She started crying. The rabbi crying. The mother crying. He looked at her and said, I want to tell you a story. And he told her like that. He said to her that he was born without a father. His father died when he was young. So his mother has him and his brother. And they didn't have a lot of money. His mother tried to do everything she can. As much as she worked and she's washing people's home and she clean, in the end the body collapsed. And his mother ended up like almost dying. And he was young. And he told her the story. He said, I saw my mother talking to God. Not the regular prayer. She used to pray every day. She said, dear God, I have 2 kids. The father is not here. We don't have that many friends. We moved to this village. We don't know anybody. We're alone. It will be very difficult to create love toward my kids. So all what they have is me. Please, do something. I'm not praying from a book like everybody else, but I'm talking to you, God. Do something here. Make me healthy for them, not for me. Immediately, he said, she jumped out of bed. And once he told her the story, he said to her, listen to me, I promise you children if you act like my mom. She said, what do you mean? He said, I'll tell you a second story. Usually on Friday night, every woman light candle. And some women light the candle, they take matches, light the candle. And some women stay there and cry and beg. Because at that moment of begging, the gate is open for every woman in the world, by the way. Every Friday night, just before sunset, you light the candle and it's like the last light of the 6th day of the week. And the cloud is changing to become the 7th day of the week. As I told you before, the 6 days go to work, the 7 days rest, not physically. So that's mean the rest energy is coming in. So between the work and the resting, you have a moment that you can ask for anything. You can light the candle, and you can light the candle. She said, I want to tell you a second story. So, she was as regular praying, but the candle was lower than her face. And as she prayed, she always cried, begging for sustenance, for her children to find soulmates, all kind of things like this. And he said, as a kid, he tell her, she cries so bad that her tears make the candle wet, and it was no longer flame on the wick of the candle. And I don't know if you know, you cannot turn it on again, because once Shabbat enter, she did the blessing. Then she started even crying double. The Master of the world, please, this is the one thing I'm doing spiritually. I'm begging you to do something with the candle. Now, it's the way she prayed. It's like the way that the high priest pray on Yom Kippur, when he's begging for peace and for health. And this Rabbi Israel Vlendinger, he said to this woman who cannot have children, he said, I saw a hand coming from the sky. He saw a hand. As a kid, he doesn't understand what's going on, and lit up that candle again. Then he looked at her and he said to her, to the woman, do you know what is to be a woman? You have the power to ask for whatever you want. You're a malchut, you can ask anything you want for your family. Anything you want will happen. But you gotta beg, you gotta cry. And if you want children and you beg and cry like my mom cried, you will get it. And the story ended up with, she was able to bear many children after that. And the story is for all the women who are listening. Your power is the greatest power in the world. We ask you to pray for us. We ask you to pray for all of us, because when you pray for one of those 2 candles, for one of those 10 candles, whatever you light, you can help us. This is the only way. You can actually pray for unity. You can pray for harmony. We can pray, you can do all of it. And when somebody in your house don't feel well, the women can actually, with their prayer, can change everything. This is the power of a woman. You can turn the light on again. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Appreciate it.